Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Scott Bushaw, CEO and inventor, founder at a company called Hans, H-A-N-S. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us what Hans is all about.
So Hans is a dual-sided cleaner that we created to basically eliminate the need for single-use wipes when cleaning any type of electronic device that you have. And most recently, Apple released some news that we were thrilled that they publicly released it. But they said it's okay to clean your phone with disinfecting wipes. And this is something that we've known since 2013 when we started our research and development phase. So it was really great to hear them publicly acknowledge that because, like I said, we've kind of known that, and that's what set us off on our journey when first creating the product. We wanted something to clean visually because when you're talking about a phone, you want a great screen to look at, but microscopically as well, because there's so many, just grime builds up throughout the day from use and touching it, following you, everywhere you go within the day. It just makes sense to clean it on that microscopic level as well.
Well, I guess people wonder, is this going to help in this day and age with all the fears that we all have about coronavirus? And beyond that, phones get pretty germy.
Yes, no, exactly. And that's the path we were on before the epidemic started. So it just aligns with the goal of why we created Hans in the first place. And the most unique thing about our solution is that it actually contains roughly 2.5 times more of the active ingredients that are found in the single-use wipes. And, furthermore, for our application of why we created the solution was to clean electronics in a way that, is geared specifically for electronics. So not a single-use disinfecting wipe that is geared more towards the kitchen countertop.
Well, describe for us why there's a need for something specialized for electronics. What's the difference?
Specialized for the solution means that it doesn't, it's not a heavy solution when I say that. So like when you're talking about something cleaning a kitchen countertop, it needs to be a heavier solution because you're talking about cooking grease or, whatever kind of food mess that may be left on there. But when you're talking about an electronic, you don't want a heavy solution if it gets caught in, a charging port or headphone port or anything like that. So that's the main difference when you talk about our solution versus just a normal wipe.
Well, tell us, you have an interesting way of packaging this too, the Hans Ultra Clean. Tell me about it.
Oh, yes, the Hans Ultra Clean. It comes with antibacterial cape. Some people would call it a cloth, but it's a cape in the sense that, it hangs on the bottle, not just as kind of like a gimmick, but it's actually useful. So you can use the cape while still attached to the bottle to get an adequate amount of solution onto the cape, which then allows you to transfer the cleaning solution onto a device. So the cape doesn't suck up all the solution. It also dispenses it onto what you're cleaning, which is how a cleaner, how a cleaning solution works. It has to adequately wet a device. And once you're done with that, you have a different part of the cloth or cape that's dry still, and that's when you would polish for a visual clean. And at the end of it, you would just put the cape back on around the bottle, which lets it dry. So it doesn't become, a balled up mess of a wet cape. It dries in between the next time you'll use it and when you just used it. So
I know claims can be tricky, but what can you say about the effectiveness against germs, viruses like the coronavirus? What can you say?
Right. We adhere to all the EPA guidelines and rules, and they set forth the minimum amount of active ingredients that you need to basically be called a disinfectant. And like I said, we have 2.5 times that amount in our solution, but without being fully registered with the EPA, they don't let you say kill or sanitize or disinfect specifically. So within what our active ingredients are, it's basically, like I said, the same compounds that are the active ingredients in disinfecting wipes. And some of those have already proven to be effective against the coronavirus and things like that. So, we can't say that specifically, but within the family of active ingredients, others have, had the government test and had positive results showing that it is effective within that family of compounds.
Are there some kinds of screens where you'd be reluctant to use this on?
Yeah, some of the television sets, because they come with different coatings from the manufacturers, anti-glare and things like that. Also some nylon computer screens, which you don't see that often anymore, but it's better to err on the side of caution. We really made this to be an effective microscopic cleaner, so it's geared towards the electronics that you're really taking with you and touching regularly, and that's why we created such more powerful formula than just for a visual clean.
Tell us about pricing and availability.
Right now, Hans Ultra Clean is available on our site, hans-swipe.com. It recently launched. $14.95 is the price with free shipping, of course, and it's soon to be launched on Amazon. But the reason why we chose to have this right now on our site only is because we are donating 10% of all sales to the Salvation Army until the pandemic is declared over. And that's only through our site, not through our Amazon sales.
What's the backstory here?
Yeah, the backstory, a lot of us here that work at Hans individually before Hans was started, we were cleaning our phones with the single-use wipes, and they often create a mess. They do half the job because they wet the device, but then you have to clean it visually because they leave behind a sticky residue if you do let it dry. And we really just started to feel guilty about using all of those wipes and creating all that waste. So we knew there had to be, a better way to approach cleaning because, we wanted to clean basically multiple times a day without the guilt. So that's when we started the whole R&D process, which basically was a 2 to 2.5 year time frame that we started from idea to patent to creating the solution from the ground up. And we have 2 different products right now that utilize the solution. The Ultra Clean is the new one, and the original debut of the Hans Swipe Clean, which is our first product to utilize this cleaner. But we had a lot of customers ask, for what would be our solution to be able to use this on like irregular surfaces. So let's say like headphones or Fitbits after you're working out, the Apple Watch and everything like that. And that's when we created the Ultra Clean then, to have the same kind of cleaning power that our customers, have been loving for years now, to just to be able to clean a lot more of their electronics.
For more info, where's the best place to go?
Please visit hans-swipe.com.
And it's HANS-swipe.com. Scott Bushaw, thank you for taking the time with us.
Definitely. Thank you so much again for having me.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love Crane.